Disclaimer: this is a movie review which falls under criticism and commentary as well as educational and entertainment purposes. The footage used in this review is owned entirely by the copyright holders. Please support the official release. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Christmas ornaments of the gods.
I'm your host with the mustache, Henry R. Mockingbird.
I'm Gary.
And today, for our first Christmas episode, we are going to look at the 1938 Christmas Carol. So let's fly into this movie and get going. Christmas Carol is about a miserly, greedy old man named Ebenezer Scrooge who gets a visit by three ghosts on his path to redemption. What do I think? Well, I'll tell you. 1938 Christmas Carol is my favorite version of the story, with the possible exception of Muppet Christmas Carol. I first saw the Christmas Carol on Comcast and loved it so much that I ended up renting it twice, much to my old man's chagrin. First there's Scrooge, who's a greedy, miserly old man. He kind of looks like he got his hair cut from the same place Judge Doom got his.
Or maybe he got his hair done from the hair machine from Chitty Chitty Bam Bam.
But as the movie goes on, he begins to see the error of his ways and becomes a lot more likable. Scrooge is played by Reginald Owen, who also played Admiral Boom in Mary Poppins. Scrooge was supposed to be played by Lionel Barrymore, who played Scrooge in a radio show. Lionel Barrymore being the brother of silent actor John Barrymore and the great uncle of Drew Barrymore. But Lionel Barrymore had to drop the role, so it ended up going to Reginald Owen. But he did end up being the announcer for the trailers.
Don't worry, Lionel Barrymore. You will get your chance to be in another Christmas classic.
I love it when this music plays every time Scrooge walks into a room or something. And then there's Bob Cratchit, who's very loyal to Scrooge, even though Scrooge does treat him like garbage. Playing Bob Cratchit is Jen Lockhart, who was also in Earthworm Tractors, starring Jolie Brown. And then there's Tiny Tim, who's a good kid. Tiny Tim is played by Terry Gilbert, who was also in Goodbye Mr. Chips. Then there's the ghost of Jacob Marley. Jacob Marley's most memorable scene is when his ghost head appears in a door knock, and his most memorable line is this one.
Business. Mankind was my business.
In fact, this movie has plenty of memorable scenes. Scenes in like where they're sliding on the ice, or they're singing in the church, or when Bob Cratchit buys Christmas dinner. Heck, even the scene where Bob Cratchit buys chestnuts is memorable. One scene I found a bit sweet is when the young Scrooge gets a visit from his sister. Speaking of that, now let's talk about the ghosts. First, there's the Ghost of Christmas Past.
I am the supermodel of Christmas Past.
The Ghost of Christmas Past is very beautiful. The Ghost of Christmas Past is played by Ann Rutherford, who also played Polly in the Andy Hardy series, and also played one of Scarlett O'Hara's younger sisters in Gone with the Wind. You remember my 1940 Thief of Baghdad review. I talked about the use of green screen, which is how they accomplished the effect of flying. And then there's the Ghost of Christmas Past, who's a jolly fellow, but he's nowhere near as jolly as the one in the Muppet Christmas Carol. Next, there's the Ghost of Christmas Future.
The guy, he looks more like the Ghost of Christmas Future.
The Ghost of Christmas Future, or the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, is creepy. I wonder if Emperor Palpatine's under that hood. But as creepy as he is, he's at least less creepy than most versions of the Ghost of Christmas Future are. Like most versions of the Christmas Carol, this version is based on a book by Charles Dickens. The director of the movie is Edwin L. Martin, who also directed The Casino Murderer Case. The movie was produced by Joseph L. McCary, who also directed Cleopatra and got an Academy Award nomination for his work on the film The Philadelphia Story. He also directed Five Fingers as well as Julius Caesar, and was even one of the co-writers behind the 1933 Alice in Wonderland. Also directed All About Eve, starring Bette Davis. The music was done by Fritz Wackman, who also did the music for Bride of Frankenstein and Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca. I talked about most of the ups of the film. What are the downs of the film? Well, there is one. One problem I have with this movie is with one scene. A scene in where Scrooge brings some men off the street to check on Jacob Marley. Well, to be honest, I find this scene to be a bit pointless. Well, that's the only problem I have with it. Well, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. See you in the new year. I give the film